Okay, guys, welcome to a brand new episode of WrestleSlam, the podcast brought to you by Manscaped.com. Don't forget the 4.0 package is available, and the promo code, as always, is Manscaped.com. So do check it out. And as always, we thank Manscaped for sponsoring our show. Anyone else that wants to sponsor the show, we always get comments. People are interested. You're more than welcome to sponsor our show. We are open to sponsorship, as always. You can email us at WrestleSlam@outlook.com. And we'd be more than happy to talk. So I'm joined by Jer, Phil, and Matt Murphy for a fresh episode. It's a brand new week. We're closing in on Christmas, which is crazy. December is just upon us. But yet again, it's been a crazy few days. We had a great weekend of pay-per-views, and of course, War Games, aka Survivor Series was styling. So Phil, I'm going to go to you first, my man. What was your thoughts on War Games? It was I thought it was quite good. Did you enjoy it?
The main event, the men's one was brilliant. The women's was a bit up and down. We'll start with the women's, I suppose. They're saying on Raw that a lot of them were injured in it as well.
Yeah, it's a grueling match, as you know.
I don't know, is that legit or is it just wasting time to get them off for another week? So Io did her traditional somersault off the top, which we seem to. I actually really missed the one where she did it with the bin. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was last year, epic, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was epic. I don't know if it's the right call, but it's probably their right call because they want Becky in the main event at WrestleMania.
And who does Becky? Who like? Obviously, we've seen Becky. Obviously, came back. She was the last opponent announced. Obviously, a lot of people thought it was going to be Charlotte Flair, maybe Tegan Knox. But obviously, I suppose they made the right call, bringing Becky back.
Biggest they could get. That's the best thing I suppose I can say about it. The biggest they could get right now, because they still don't know what they're doing with Charlotte.
Yeah,
that's an interesting one. What do you reckon? Do you reckon she'll be back by Royal Rumble, or is she?
She could be back before that. She put up a tweet there or Instagram or story there this evening with her boots on her, just a picture of her boots. So it looks like she's getting ready to come back to the ring. Whether she's fit enough, I presume she is. She's been out a long time. What is it, about 6 months now, is it? So like Becky coming back was a good idea, like, because she's looking like she's back a week, and she already feels bigger than most of the people on the roster being back as fucking the man. Like, she's the biggest face in the company.
Yeah,
pretty much. Like, Roman's the biggest heel in the company. That makes her the biggest face in the company, ahead of every man and every woman on the roster.
I just want to say one thing as well while it's in my head. When she went face, did she give Seth Rollins her dress in clothes, or what's the story? What was he wearing? What was he wearing?
I don't know. Some see-through blouse from some vampire movie.
It done no favors in the match anyway.
Oh no, but it was a good match. It was a risky spot because she was out so long coming off the top.
Yeah.
It could have went wrong.
Like, it was a 40-minute match. Obviously, we had Team Belair. It was Bianca, Alexa, Asuka, Mia, and Becky, and obviously they defeated Team Damage Control. So like, there was some really good points. I think Nikki Cross had some great kind of pops. I think Rhea Ripley doing the pull-ups inside the fucking cage was incredible. I think that was just like, she's on a different level, I think. Now, going off topic a small bit, look, we have to mention Thanksgiving. And yet again, did you see that little camo with Rhea and Dominic going to the Mysterio's house? It was interesting. Joe, what was your thoughts on that little camo? It looked and it felt good, didn't it?
Yeah, it was funny. Like, they're obviously playing up the whole story of Dominic and Rhea. Like, eventually it'll probably they'll have the WrestleMania blow off. Like, hopefully. I'm not sure who they put over on it though. Probably Dominic. Funny though.
It was. And like, it's going to be. It remains to be seen. Are we going to see a little? I reckon the Royal Rumble, we're going to see a little face off between Dominic and Rhea. Maybe number 1 and number 2 entrants. That'd be fucking epic.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Build it for Mania. Matt Murphy, War Games. It was something that we all wanted to see. Triple H was giving props to William Regal, which was great to see on Twitter. There's talks that like Regal's actually going to come back. I believe he will come back. Apparently, he's only signed a 1-year contract, or I think it's a max 2-year contract, but apparently it's only a 1-year contract. So there's talks he may head back to All Elite Wrestling. Sorry, back to WWE. But what was your thoughts on War Games? Look, obviously we had Ronda. Ronda, she retained, in good fashion. Terry defeated Rollins, Bobby Lashley, the Bloodline, with the help of the great, the iconic, and the legendary Sami Zayn, were victorious in that match. So what could have stood out for you, Matt Murphy?
Spoilers, lad. Jesus Christ. I was actually, when you mentioned William Regal, I was holding on hope that because WWE and Triple H is embracing Forbidden Door, maybe William Regal was going to show up just to say that one War Games and just fuck off, get his £100. But of course, that didn't happen. But it was unreal seeing War Games back again, lads. I wouldn't say that it would be like a traditional thing now. I think it was kind of like a one-off thing. Maybe they bring it back again, stick with NXT so more people can actually watch NXT. Because this is probably the first time a lot of people watch what War Games was like. So it was unreal. I'm with Phil in this one. The women's match was so-and-so, had its moments, but I love the main event. I absolutely love Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn's rivalry in NXT. The brief one and tag team one on the main roster. So seeing that kind of being built up kind of makes you wonder, is like Kevin Owens going to be like kind of nudging Sami to leave the bloodline and maybe do that rumored rivalry with Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn? So the rest of the match was kind of like predictable. I kind of had a feeling that Theory was going to win the United States title because we could see where he's going to go with this one. So yeah, that was it. It was like most of the match was predictable, but it had its moments this year. So enjoyed the main event, lad. So pretty good one.
Yeah, no, it was good. Like, Joe, what stood out for you? Obviously, look, there was 5 matches, and obviously, look, Terry victorious against Rollins and Lashley. A nice little finish to the match, I suppose. The fact he took cover on a different move. Obviously, Ronda, AJ and Balor. I want to get your thoughts on AJ and Balor. Did that live up to expectations for you, or was it a disappointment?
It was a good match. It wasn't as good as the one they had back in 2017, the TLC match, which wasn't planned at all. Like, it was just because Bray Wyatt was out with whatever he had issue at the time that AJ stood in, which was an epic fucking match. So I was holding my hope that this would be just as good. It wasn't far off. It was a good match. Obviously there was going to be outside interference with the two factions, but I was surprised at AJ the way it ended. Like, it seemed like they rushed the ending very quickly. Like,
I thought that
Balor was chasing them down, and next time he had him a punch, and then he had him the forearm, and that was it. I was surprised because I heard that they're supposed to be giving Balor a push, and he lost as clean as a whistle. Like, so.
Well, if you read into it, this is AJ's first pay-per-view singles match in 18 months.
Years. Yeah.
3 years?
3 years, yeah. It was in Saudi Arabia against Humberto Carrillo.
Yeah.
For the US title.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like, what's your thoughts, Phil? Like, we see matches being built. So, like, when you look at AJ and Finn Balor on paper, it's going to be an absolute fucking cracker. But, like, over the years, like, you've had, obviously, Nakamura versus AJ at Mania. I think it was 34, 35 I was there. I just can't remember what date it was. And it's just, they don't live up to expectation. They're good matches, but they're not fucking like, whoa, that's, you know what I mean? I'll never forget that, What is it? Is it just too much pressure on the match, or is it just...
I think it's age. Both men are in their 40s now as well. I think people like Balor just turned 40, didn't he, recently?
Yeah.
I think he's more, I think.
Yeah, he might be more. But AJ is like 46 as well, so...
Yeah.
These guys, this match was 2009, it would have been amazing.
Yeah, well, if you put it down to their style as well, it's like the Japanese strong style. Like, we've seen so much of it now in AEW that we've gotten used to having, all these fucking clinics and banger matches on AEW. Like, the people who compete in the strong style, and one of the two lads who've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Finally have that. You're like, oh yeah, well, I've seen this before, kind of thing, more than their first match, which was before AEW even existed. So it was all brand new back then.
No,
I think as well people are keeping annoyed because it's the Survivor series and they wanted a 4-4.
Yeah.
So it's a tricky one.
I'm surprised they didn't do that.
When I heard it was announced, I thought it was very random to have a 1-on-1 match at Survivor series.
Yeah, I was surprised as well that they didn't have a elimination match between the two factions.
Yeah, like they could have shaved off 10 minutes off each War Games match to accommodate it.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on Sheamus, lads? Like, to me, Sheamus, that he's $1 million. Now, obviously, he didn't get to win at War Games, but like, I just have this feeling that like Sheamus is getting a slight push, and he may be the one to dethrone Roman if Roman's to drop the belts at Rumble or whatever. Because look, if that feud with The Rock happens, which I believe is going to happen because it's been talked about for far too long, is Sheamus being the proper old fashioned heavyweight, the proper, fucking guy. And like we've seen ever since that match with Walter, he's just been on a roll. And I think the crowd are behind him. I think he's got that popularity. There's no doubt about it. But I think right now it could be at its highest point, which is kind of hard to explain. But anytime he's won a belt in the past, like being a WWE Championship, he's been like the bad guy. But now he's kind of got that fucking momentum. Everyone kind of loves him, and rightly so. So would I be right to say maybe Sheamus could be the guy to dethrone Roman Reigns, or am I just way off the ball, Ger?
I don't think he's the person they dethrone him. That has to go to somebody who's going to get over, like, and be the next person, or the next guy. Hopefully it is. I hope it is Sami Zayn. I don't expect it to be. I love it to be. I think Sheamus will be a next challenger for Roman, because he seemed to be the leader of that team, like against Roman and that leader, like he always stood in the middle of the groups, like. So whether we get a one-on-one match, just like a Christmas special or some fucking day one pay-per-view in January that hasn't been advertised yet, like maybe we get something there. But they're saying that Kevin Owens is going to be facing Roman at Royal Rumble. So
I've seen that.
That could change after what happened in the match.
I know.
Yeah. And speaking of that, there's obviously, it's on Wrestle Inc. and many sources that there's a bit of heat between Owens and Reigns. Backstage.
I think it was just a 24-hour thing. It's done. Once they left the arena, it was over with.
They said it was an unplanned spot. Somebody had it up on Twitter there today saying this was the spot where Owens slapped him around the face, but it actually caught him in the ear and burst his eardrum or left him bleeding in the ear or something. And that's why he was pissed off.
Not good. And speaking of things trending online, obviously Charlotte Church is Charlotte Church. Jesus Christ.
Charlotte Church.
She must be on my mind. Charlotte Flair is trending, but lads, Fire Ronda Rousey is trending on Twitter.
Well, she did a very dangerous spot on that in the match that's unforgivable. She almost killed herself as well and broke her neck.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something bold, and I'm gonna say this out loud. I'm a massive Ronda Rousey fan, but is Ronda Rousey the Goldberg of the women's wrestling division? Am I right or wrong?
I don't know, but she's made some stupid comments recently. She said that they need to take the women's name off the titles. It should just be World Championship, which makes no sense. You have to define, you know what I mean? You have to define genders. Like, otherwise people will just be confused if they just see world title matches.
Yeah, and in this day and age, obviously a woman can challenge a man. So like it's like, like it would not surprise me in the next 10 years if there was a woman actually beat a man to win the WWE Championship.
But it would be somebody like Ronda Rousey. That would be.
Oh, give it to Rhea Ripley.
Yeah. George, is that a bold statement? Goldberg, Ronda Rousey, same bracket.
I think Goldberg probably could carry more people in a match. I don't like Ronda couldn't carry Shotzi in that match. Shotzi is, there's nothing wrong with Shotzi as a performer, as a star. It's just sometimes she has a lot of botches in her matches. I'm not sure why they keep happening. But if she was in there with Charlotte or Becky or someone, they could hide her or protect her. But obviously Ronda isn't that kind of wrestler where she's able to protect her opponent if they fuck up, and it stands out even worse.
It's big time.
Yeah,
I don't think Goldberg would have been that way. He obviously he made some mistakes in his career. But he could. His matches weren't long enough for them to actually stand out and see how bad he actually was.
Right. 2 seconds there. We've got Bret Hart on the line. Bret, what's your thoughts on this? Matt Murphy, look, Ronda Rousey, she's a breath of fresh air. Obviously, we remember when she made that debut. She's obviously a UFC star. What's your thoughts on Ronda Rousey? Look, I'm gonna sit the fence. I am a fan of Ronda Rousey. I think she's good for the company. I think when she first started, she had some great matches. I think that WrestleMania debut with Kurt Angle against Triple H and Stephanie, she was incredible. Is Ronda Rousey dangerous in the ring? Is she going to really hurt someone? Is she going to hurt herself? Do you think that it could be the end of the road? Do you think maybe she's going to step away, or do you think she's there for the long haul?
I can see her at least lasting for at least almost a year now. I can still see her with the title and with Shayna Baszler by her side. I can see them like is the women's titles tag title still around? Because they haven't keep them in that area.
Yeah.
I can see them actually. I could see them winning the tag titles at least. I could see them actually being like an unstoppable like force in the women's division for at least a year or so. I wouldn't say they're going to do like a Roman Reigns, like having her like unbeatable, but like they're going to do something pretty decent with her. They're going to like take advantage of her, taking with all the rumors of her being like the Goldberg, like you said, of the women's division, or the Brock Lesnar. Again, I can't say I'm a fan around her lately. But like, I think that's what I can see. What they can go with her, just have her slap on the title, eat whoever's in the ring with her, and like they hold on to the title as long as they can until Royal Rumble. I can see Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, a big main event pay per view. Like so.
No, I love that take. I appreciate it. Now we have to move swiftly. There was breaking news today. Impact have agreed a massive deal, and in my opinion, guys, this is the biggest deal of them all. The zone to me, or some people say dancing, the zone is huge. So
this is just Europe, just Europe, isn't it?
For Europe,
yeah.
The two there's two deals, DAZN, however you pronounce their name
zone,
for the whole of Europe.
Yeah.
And the other one is what's the other company for America, the streaming service.
Yeah, they have another one. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Yeah, I know.
I'll get the statement there, but it's obviously encouraging news, guys, because look, we know Impact they're producing incredible shows, and that's the moral of the story. They're really producing incredible shows. It's you know what I mean. It's
Anthem Sports is the other one.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
So is it? Reading into it, is it like you have to be subscribed to these platforms to actually watch?
That's what I'm worried about, because I don't want to have to spend another £10 to watch Impact, especially paying for like Amazon and Netflix and all these other things.
Yeah,
is that just for the pay-per-views or the actual weekly?
No, they're weekly shows. Apparently their shows are on Fight, like they're pay-per-views.
Yeah, it says there Anthem Sports and Entertainment and the Zone announced an international multi-year distribution partnership for Anthem's Impact Wrestling. So it says, in a nutshell, Impact's signature series, pay-per-view events, other programming will be televised by the Zone to more than 170 countries, beginning on November 29th. So obviously this is a big spin, but that's the fact they're entering 170 countries through this platform is it's a big thing.
If they're going to show the pay-per-views on them, then that's a big thing, because over here, if you bought a pay-per-view on Fight, it's like 20 something euro, and if it's only going to be £7 on this thing.
Yeah. But they're the biggest network in the world, though, the Zone. So like they're massive. So if they are going to show, like, the clarity is not completely there. Obviously they have this a big announcement and you see the Zone and you're like, right, does it go out live? Does it go out the next day? But if it goes out live and we have them pay-per-views, which I believe is what the statement says, then that's fucking huge.
It's a huge thing, because it's only €7 a month.
€7 a month, millions upon millions of people watching it.
Yeah.
It's good, and obviously they have a great roster. Josh Alexander is one of the...
I see how it works here. Now I'm reading about it. Yeah. So basically, what's going to happen is it's going to be a week. Is it a week? No, 7 days after the pay-per-view airs, it'll be aired on the Zone, so it won't be live on the Zone. So a week later.
So you still have to get the pay-per-view
So if you want to watch it live, you have to buy it off Fight TV, like for the whatever it is, $30, or you can wait a week.
But even still, like for them, like to get a big deal like this, like it's huge for the company itself.
Yeah, but like forward, that, as well, people who are watching the zone will come across Impact. That's a great thing. That's a great thing.
Yeah. No, it is. It's interesting. As you
they also gave the countries as well. Ireland are not on the list at all.
Yeah, I saw them on it there somewhere.
Oh no, I just saw Belgium, Croatia, Czech Republic, Denmark, Finland, Italy, Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, and I don't see Ireland or England actually are not there either.
Not even on the Republic of Ireland, no?
I'm on their site, their own site, their own.
Interesting. A lot of uncertainty around the deal. Obviously, look, where we're all we all have different opinions.
Well, I'm assuming it will be because it's too big not to be.
Yeah, no, agree. But look, it's a good thing. It's good news for Impact, and look, I'm sure if they can bring in that number, them big numbers, then obviously, it's a good thing. That means, they might get the live deal. If they're on that platform.
It's like the old days, Jenny. I remember when the Wrestling Channel was on, the pay-per-views were like a month out.
Oh yeah,
it was kind of
mad times back when we barely had the internet.
2005, you'd have to wait for Impact's July pay-per-view till like nearly September.
Yeah, day with the days. Speaking of Wrestle Inc., guys, I'm just going to stay on that quickly. Obviously, there's a spoiler alert that Robert Roode's due to return. Glenn Jacobs accused of intimidating a Knox County official in a recently settled lawsuit. Juventud Guerrero revealed scrapped All Elite Wrestling plans. So there was talks he was supposed to make an appearance, do something. Interesting. Sami Zayn's the Bloodline gear didn't progress as quickly as expected. There's a lot of stuff about MJF. Freddie Prinze Jr. discusses what's next for CM Punk. He's in the news a lot lately. Freddie seems to be doing a lot of shit, but that's enough there with that. But like, we have to go quickly to All Elite Wrestling, guys. Phil, what's your thoughts on MJF? What's your thoughts on All Elite Wrestling? It was an interesting week last week, building up to this week. What can we expect? What can we see?
I suppose it's definitely on the rise, but MJF has definitely brought up that promo after the pay-per-view was. Never mind the language, because I don't think language is necessarily needed. He's trying to be like this cool, real-life guy and whatever you don't need to be using. I guess they're just trying to make it like UFC and make it more realistic.
Yeah.
It was very good. I'm not going to say it wasn't, because it was.
Yeah.
But the show itself is definitely improved. During the summertime, it was very hard to watch.
Yeah. They could have got a bit of a balance.
Well, they have a Ring of Honor show now in, was it, a week and a bit?
Yeah.
Chris Jericho find Claudio, which makes no sense to me because he pinned him at the pay-per-view, but whatever.
That's just wrestling.
Well, what do you make of it? Because Daniel Garcia is completely gone off the radar.
I'm personally just looking forward to watching it because it's Jericho, it's Claudio. Again, I can't hang up both of them at the moment, obviously, but like I'm not really enjoying what they're doing with the ROH. I'm actually on the bandwagon. It's like I just don't like the idea of like Jericho and recognizable names like going after the title. Like I wish that they actually just stick with the original Ring of Honor roster they have now. And that's why I just like think with the Ring of Honor title at the moment. It's like I know Claudio, Bryan Danielson, they're original, they are ROH, but I just don't like the fact that it's just recognizable names and it's like getting too mainstream. Because I still remember when Ring of Honor was still kind of like, was it like an underground, like people watching?
Yeah. It was very ECW kind of style thing there in 2004.
Yeah. So, and I wish that Tony Khan would have done that, left it like that instead of like bringing it to AEW. More people would be watching it now, but it's just the fact that, like I said, recognizable names holding on to the title is just, it doesn't sit right. I'm looking forward for the match, but that's my stance on it.
I'm also surprised as well that Triple H is going ahead with Deadline at the same time as well.
He's got a pair of balls, simple as that.
Yeah, it's not the first time he's done it.
Yeah.
Wants to prove a point.
Especially considering that two of their matches on it are going to be either you love them or hate them style of matches.
Yeah.
The survival challenge matches. They're going to be announcing the participants tonight because they're bringing in some Hall of Famers to pick the wrestlers.
Yeah, they're bringing all his buddies back.
Yeah, so Molly Holly and Road Dogg are two I've seen.
Yeah, X-Pac, he's going to be there, and Alondra Blaze is going to be there as well.
Yeah. So it might be an interesting episode tonight.
Looking forward to that.
You can understand the rules.
I think it sounds like a scramble match. That's what I got.
It is a scramble match, but then there's fucking pinfalls and cages and.
Yeah, they kind of have a King of the Mountain kind of style to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
It might work.
I'm actually a massive. I think X-Pac is the most. When you mentioned X-Pac there, he's the most underrated wrestler of all time.
Yeah, he's very good. He really is.
He really was good. Like
his size and everything. He come 2000, he was pretty much an all-round performer.
He's a good guy. He really is a good guy. So obviously, look, we have the Royal Rumble. That's going to be January 28th. That'll be interesting. Look, obviously, it's going to be a lot. I look forward to the Rumble. The Rumble for me is the second biggest of the year. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. A lot of announcements in due course this week as well, which will be good. MJF carrying All Elite Wrestling. People don't know what's happening with CM Punk still. Is he gone? Is he still there? Merchandise is still on sale. It remains to be seen what's going on with CM Punk. Apparently, he's not wanted back. We know that. So time will tell.
AEW as well have a big computer game coming out. Is it the end of December?
Yeah, we've seen the promos and stuff. They look pretty good.
Coming out.
Oh, lads, this is going to be like No Mercy. I'm going to be in my element. That's the best game ever. For wrestling.
Sorry, going off topic. Did you just say computer game?
Yeah.
It's a video game. You just said, I was like, are you playing one of those computer games now? It's video game, Phil. Oh my god.
Getting old.
It says here, it says the release will be February 2023. So All Elite.
I thought it was like before Christmas.
Yeah, I thought it was before Christmas as well.
It should be. It says Fight Forever. Obviously, what's the name of that? How do you spell it? Ukes, is it? Yukes. They're the developer.
Ukes, yeah.
Ukes. Obviously available PS5, Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Xbox S. There's so many fucking Xboxes, and then the Microsoft Windows, which would be interesting. Back to the laptop PC days, but yeah, it's
I still need to get PlayStation 5 because I haven't been playing new games lately. But like, when it comes out, I'm definitely interested. I'm definitely looking forward to stop playing those computer games, Phil. Those computer games.
Back to Commodore 64.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was just reading here. I don't know if you've seen it, but WWE's plans right now are Zayn and Reigns in Quebec.
Oh, that's going to happen.
Yeah, in February.
Yeah, it's going to happen 100%.
But the thing is, like, can Sami Zayn just beat him for that other belt and leave Reigns' title reign continue?
Chamber.
George's scenario was good there a few weeks back. He said, obviously, that Zayn wins the fucking Money in the Bank, and then at Mania, he cashes in. I thought that was
going to be Sami Zayn cashing in or Cody Rhodes. I don't think Cody Rhodes is winning the Royal Rumble now. I think if Sami doesn't, if Sami is facing Roman before WrestleMania, I think Cody needs to hold off on winning the Rumble because it's too predictable. Like, if he wins the Rumble,
Sami Zayn winning the Royal Rumble would be amazing.
It would be brilliant, and then Cody can win the cash, win the Money in the Bank at WrestleMania. Then and he has a chance to cash in then 1 or 2 nights.
We know Triple H, like he relies on like unexpected moments. So Philly got me coughing. And he probably sees Cody Rhodes and everyone's talking about him win the Rumble. It's like it's too predictable. So yeah, it's like what Jared said. It's like I would be delighted if it is gonna be Sami Zayn.
Yeah, we all want Sami. There's no doubt about it. Like, even these promos, he's got the Usos and fucking bits on live TV. But like, to me, I think the scenario George said about 2-3 weeks ago, where Sami obviously cashes in via winning Money in the Bank, is great. But I think the Rumble, I think him winning the Rumble is a massive pop. You look at all the pops over the years where Drew McIntyre won, John Cena, Triple H. I think Sami right now is the hottest piece of property in wrestling, and I think
what I love about him. The story is he's never had a main title, and I love that. I always did love that for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Well, they run the risk of the Daniel Bryan heat, like if everybody got booed because he didn't show up. He didn't make an appearance at that Rumble, and they booed fucking even poor Rey Mysterio when it wasn't fucking Daniel. So they have that option now there where if he doesn't enter the Royal Rumble, like people will be expecting him to be in it, and they may end up booing everybody because he's not in it. So if he comes into the Royal Rumble at number 30 or number 29 or something and wins it, and the place will go fucking apeshit.
Oh man!
The only way to get around it now is if he's in the last two.
Yeah, if Sami
comes in the
last two.
If Sami does win the Royal Rumble, he actually does dethrone Reigns. That would be the ultimate comeback story. Because I still remember how he was kind of going nowhere. He was tag team with Kevin Owens, left, tried out the whole character of like him recording, documenting everything that's going on with the conspiracy. And now he went from like just a side joke to like the champion. That'll be the ultimate.
I think it's the Johnny Knoxville, and he even said himself, it's that match that turned his whole career around.
Yeah. But imagine, say Sami beats Roman at Mania.
Well, I'd have him beat him at the Chamber for the other belt.
Oh no, I wouldn't. If Sami wins the Royal Rumble, imagine the build between then and WrestleMania where the Bloodline are trying to convince Sami not to cash, not to face Roman at WrestleMania, like the way Triple H tried to convince Batista that time, like
And John Cena had actually fucking remember he decided that he is fighting at the No Way Out.
Yeah.
But imagine Sami saying, "I'm the head of the table, no Roman." Dude, I'm the head of the table.
This is WWE, so I'm expecting Owens and Zayn versus the Usos at WrestleMania.
This is just a random one, but have you seen the press talk after Survivor Series? There was Paul Heyman talking about Sami and how he's important with the Bloodline, and Sami was just there acting like he was just a wannabe boxer, like just like nodding his head, trying to be tough. There's nothing, but I looked at it and was like, "That's adorable." It's just adorable.
Lads, I'm going to say it straight. I think Kevin Owens and Sami teaming up is a catastrophe.
It is a catastrophe.
No, it's not the time. No, it's not the time. No, that's something for 3-4 years. 3-4 years from now.
What Triple H is thinking in his head while Pop this will be.
No, it's not. I'm telling you, it's so wrong in so many ways. It's not the time for that. It's time for Sami to either win the Rumble, to fucking to win something. And I'm
but
dead
George
serious.
Wright thought it should get him to try and get him to fight at the next pay-per-view if he wins it.
Yeah, no, they should. But look, I think that it's good times. And look, I've asked for a Sami Zayn t-shirt for Christmas, so look, he's definitely on my mind. But yet again, it's one of them shows where we've covered so much, we've scattered stuff, but look, it's always a pleasure to be on here speaking, and we're thankful for everyone that does tune in our way to the WrestleSlam podcast. So yeah, let us know what's your thoughts, guys. Leave comments on the video on YouTube. Is Sami Zayn gonna dethrone Roman Reigns? Is Sami Zayn gonna enter the Rumble and win? What is your thoughts? Let us know in the comments below.
What do you think of the up-and-coming AEW computer game?
Yes. Let us know. Will you be buying that? And guys, I might have my dates wrong. When I went on to Wiki, it did say February 2023, and then there was something else saying they're going to try and get it out for the end of December. So look, it remains to be seen. But look, thank you all for tuning into WrestleSlam, the podcast. And myself, Jerry, Matt, and Phil are always honored to be on here and speaking. And yet again, we had a little tweet out recently. If you want to join us and want to be a guest, just tweet us and DM us, guys, and we will be back to you ASAP. So we'll catch you all soon, and do stay tuned to everything via WrestleSlam, guys. We'll see you soon. Thanks a million.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Adios.